EA Sports brings you a special edition of the National Football League for this Halloween matchup. It's the Texans and the Browns, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The Dawgpound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. From the 6. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And for all the collegiate success he had, highest passer efficiency rating by a mile, he's a guy who's had his share of detractors at the professional level, but I do like his poise, I do like his moxie, and I love his accuracy.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Tagovailoa working out of the gun, and incomplete to open things up. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
There's a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that...
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And normally in this spot we talk about passing numbers from last week, but this time it's all about the rushing. 3 times he found the end zone in his last ball game. He is a do-everything quarterback, and you have to expect we'll see him call his own number here as well.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. These are his numbers from last week's contest. Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. On the move to his left. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now they try the right side here. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
On third down, he'll drop to throw, eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season, and the Browns have taken the early lead.
Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3-and-out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3-and-out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. Now, they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Another try after the first down sack. Tua hit, and the ball is out. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me, and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Dancing to his... And he is into the end zone. Touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Browns have taken a 14-0 first quarter lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Tua Tagovailoa in the offense heading back out.
And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. Caught, right side, it's Lewis. His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Tua, quick hitter here, it's complete.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. It'll go in the books. It's a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's 3rd down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff, you got to go and make the tackle right away.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Take it in at the 3. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Browns drive about to get started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
After one, a 14-3 ball game. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
He'll buy some time right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a first and goal.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. And they'll run again. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal. Big play coming here. It's third and goal. They'll run here on third and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
That was the kind of play that this defense needed because it has not been a good half for them on that side of the football. Maybe they can use that one to regroup a little bit and start to play a little bit better.
Looking to throw. Steps away to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. With his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Tua Tagovailoa in the offense heading back out. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Setting to throw on first, and he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, and this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
After the sack on first down, Tua, he finds his man, complete. That's Williamson. And it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Tua sets up to pass it. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. So here are the Browns to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Hands it off out of the gun.
Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount. In today's football, everyone's coming after the rock. You've got to make sure you protect it and protect the yardage you just gained.
Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Back to the air on 2nd down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, it's Lewis. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. great effort there. In the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, make sure you avoid the crazies out there and welcome in everybody to this Halloween edition of our EA Sports Halftime Report. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, and it's the Buccaneers who are out in front in the second quarter. The Buccaneers trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, we're off to check out another game. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Former number 2 pick Zach Wilson with a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. The Bulldogs still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory.
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the halftime break behind us, and we are back underway with the third quarter of action. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight. Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it's a good idea. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Another try after the first down, and pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. Now Tua. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They stop it for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Now a handoff as they run left side. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still had the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw here. Flushed out right. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Buying time to his left. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Browns continue to roll. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sand. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. Is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Going up top. And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big connection on that one, 38 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They try again with Lewis. And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a second straight play. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense. That entire team, but really this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you use the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
The Texans send the punter out, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And the Texans are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Tua looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they run on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it.
And he sheds a tackle. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Tua now on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's second down. CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
The Texans send the punter out as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start. But he's found a way so far here in the second half.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
He continues to struggle to find a place to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Out to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off at the 14.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play that time on the catch and run. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Tua going to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Lewis. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review of this game. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. To throw again on 2nd down. Tua throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Williamson. And he goes out of bounds and looks like right at the 50. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So they'll, of course, decline the pass interference there and wisely take the yardage.
And I think defensively he's saying, I was getting away with that in the first half. Why are you making that call now? But to me, that one was pretty easy to see. I don't understand what he's upset about. I think it was the correct call.
And down inside the 15 he goes. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Dixon. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
This is unbelievable.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He's got it. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Browns, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Houston, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10.